tall, thin people, that's pretty normal. You get this way. So I want you to work on your posture, and I'm going to show you how some exercises to do. One of them is the one I just showed you. Now I'm recording this, but you're going to slide your hands down, push your hips back as you do it. Pull your shoulder blades down. Look, pull your shoulder blades down, and then lift your chest.
Okay.
See how my back is straight? I want you to practice that 30 seconds. Hold that position.
Okay.
And then put your arms directly under your shoulders and get your back straight. And then I want you to get against the wall. You're going to put your back against the wall with your feet out, straight out, your toes curled back. Pull your tummy in. Make sure the back of your head's against the wall, your butt's as close to the wall as possible. And you're going to just push back into that wall isometrically. And you're going to push your elbows against the wall. Because you're going to learn to lift your sternum. Because you're sort of like this from the computer.
Yeah.
Your shoulders are forward. Now,
I tell him all the time.
part of it is he doesn't have a lot of awareness yet for this. But
I'm glad for him to hear it from you.
yeah, so yeah, you're what we call kyphotic. You're a little bit this way, but that's okay. We can work on that. And you know what?
It'll help at all.
You know, yeah. So your core stability, it looks pretty good for a guy your height. But I'm going to test you physically to see how strong you are in your core. But as far as your swing, you have a good golf swing. Your hands go
outside.
Yeah, your hands go a little out. You know, I just don't like your posture. So what I'm going to be working on is less knee flex, more hip bend. Top of the knees over the middle of the shoelaces, getting your arms to hang under your shoulders. I want to do everything right before you hit the ball, and your shots will be good.
Okay.
If we can get... Now, you know, this mat is a pressure mat, and it tells me where your weight's distributed heel to toe. I haven't turned it on yet, but that's what I want to really focus on right now, is getting you in the right posture. Now, it's not going to feel normal. You're going to have to practice this every day like you hit golf balls. You're going to have to practice in front of a mirror, working on your posture, being sensitive to where your weight is. Take a plastic dowel rod and put it right under your arches of your feet so you can get sensitive to where your weight is.
Okay.
You follow me on that? All right. Now your swing, you got really high hands. Well, you're 6'6", so that's good. That's not a bad thing. And your club comes down on a nice plane. Here's your biggest issue, and I'm sure people have told you if you've had lessons. Your pelvis is moving forward a little bit. Your weight's on your toes at impact. We want to eliminate that. Your left leg should straighten and your left hip should get deeper at impact. Yeah, you should have. And we'll look at that. And your footwork, you want to work on trying to get this heel, the right heel, to be in front of the right toe. Yeah, I used to work with Butch Harmon, and that was one of his dad's big pet peeves. He liked to see people roll to the instep. And Nicholas used to, when he was a kid, his instructor had a handful of hair, and he had to hit all the shots on the instep, so to speak. So he had to play. So that footwork thing is big, because if you can learn to get this ankle to, and this right heel to be inside, you're sort of this way, and you're thrusting this way a little bit. Yeah. So, you know, that'll change not only the angle of the club, but think about it, if the shaft is vertical at impact relative to the address, some of that's centrifugal force, but also the face is going to be open when you do that. And then you've got to flip it to close it. So that's a minor, that's probably, well, for a guy at your level, it's not minor. See how your hips come forward on the backswing? Yeah. See how your head comes up? We want to eliminate that. Yeah. So I want you to work on loading into your right heel and staying into your posture a little bit more braced. I'm going to show you an exercise. You're going to take some tubing. You can do this at your house. Wrap it around the inner thigh. Okay, and I'm going to actually try to make you move your knee this way by pulling the tubing this direction. So I'm going to actually have you anchor this adductor muscle so that you can turn and wind against it. So that's something, because eventually I want this to go away on the backswing. And partially the reason is you go too high. So you lift and that causes you to go up. And because your posture's not good, if you did this, like if you sat on a Swiss ball, right, and you rounded your back and you tried to turn, you couldn't turn. But if you let your shoulder blades go down, and now it's easier to rotate. So what I'm saying to you is some of this is posture related. Got a good swing though, really good swing. All right, let's look at it from face on. So what would be a good posture? Who is built like you? Well, there's a few guys. Matt Kuchar.
He's pretty tall. He brings it really. Do you want me to be more flat too? Is that what you're saying?
Well, your hands could go down
Yeah.
a little bit. I'm not saying swing like Ben
Yeah.
Hogan. I'm just saying your hands are really high, and I think that contributes to you standing up.
Yeah.
You also have a little bit of what we call reverse pivot.
Mhm.
You sort of do that, which is not a bad thing. Some
Yeah.
guys, Ben Hogan had a reverse pivot, but I don't want your pelvis to come forward. Okay, watch this. See how your hips come toward the ball right there, and your head goes up? That's what I want to get rid of.
Yeah.
You know, because the less moving parts you have going up and your pelvis moving forward, the easier it is for you. Now your net effect is great. I mean, your head doesn't hardly move at all. You know, and this knee shoots away. I don't like all that gap in there.
Mhm.
I'm being very picky though. To be a good player, you know, details matter. So most tour players, you know, and this guy's not even close to your build, but I want you to get to the point where you have a little bit less knee flex, a little more hip bend. You can see you got a lot of knee flex, right? All right. So that's something to be working on. 30 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, whatever you can give, work on in front of a mirror, working on your posture.
Yeah, man.
Unlock your knees,
Mhm.
don't bend them. Unlock them. You should be able to touch the top of your knees, put your hands together with your back pretty straight.
Okay.
I do yoga, you know, for a reason. I have a bad back, but it's also great for golf,
Mhm.
you know. And there's a lot of yoga poses that will help you get stability. But this guy's tall and thin, Cameron Tringali, but look how much different his backswing is. Much flatter backswing. Certainly not where we want. I'm not saying by any means that's what we want to do with you. All right.